Julie Polakovich Carr's bill, and 1330 Delegate Ampry, showing that he can withdraw like a champ. So
I know when to hold them, when to fold them.
So the motion is going to be unfavorable, withdrawn by sponsor for House Bill 515 and House Bill 1330. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so we will do a roll call, Trish, so that we find out who's not here.
Just having a technical difficulty.
Sure, that's fine. Take your time. Give people a chance to straggle in.
Boy. It's not letting me record votes. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's not good.
Actually recorded a vote. You have not pursued. Please record vote.
God, I would hate for you to have to resort to using.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
You got it? Okay. You ready?
Yeah, HB 515 and 1330.
Right. Unfavorable motion withdrawn by sponsor.
I apologize. Vice Chair Stein,
Yes.
Holmes,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Fraser Hidalgo,
Yes.
Otto,
He said yes.
Yes.
I heard him through the wall. Me too.
Otto,
Otto
Jacobs,
said-
Yes.
Wyval,
Yes. What about Jacobs?
He said yes.
No.
Ampray,
Yes.
Siliberti.
He was trying to get on there a couple minutes.
He's
Okay.
in there.
He's
but
in his
muted.
office. He should be there. I just saw him.
You're muted, Delegate Siliberti.
Very.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, it's an unfavorable motion withdrawn by sponsor. You want to vote yes.
Okay.
Wells,
With great sadness for my district mate, I have to vote yes.
Love,
Yes.
Ruth,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Yes.
Tarasa,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
Boyce,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Jalisi,
Yes.
Anderton,
Yeah.
Gilchrist,
Yes.
Chairman.
Celebrity. Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Thank you.
And
I
did
see.
Ann vote? Well, I'm voting yes, but did Ann vote? Oh,
Delegate Healy, I did skip you. Oh, she's out today. She's out.
that's right. She's out.
Yeah, she's out
Yeah,
today.
she's
Yes.
medically excused.
That
Okay.
is correct. That's correct.
All right. Okay, so let's go to House Bill 69, Delegate Love, Delegate Love's bill. So that's,
It's me, Mr. Chairman.
yeah,
This bill generally prohibits a food service business from providing specified single-use food or beverage products to customers unless requested. The bill also prohibits, beginning as early as January 1, 2024, an owner, an operator, or a manager of a lodging establishment from providing a personal cleansing product in a small plastic bottle, except under specified circumstances. This bill did not go through subcommittee. It was jointly assigned with ECM. It received an unfavorable vote from ECM. But Mr. Chairman, I move favorable in part because it's a good bill and in part because last year, I remember when I moved unfavorable, I got in such trouble. So I on the bill.
That wasn't from me. I didn't.
Second.
well, it's good that you learn from your mistakes, huh?
Yes.
Although it is me who asked you to do that. Okay, Delegate.
Thank you, Mr. Subcommittee Chair. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to let the body know that I worked extensively with the Restaurant Association. So you can feel good about voting for the favorable motion. I accepted all of their amendments. We took out not that any of this matters, but I wanted to let you know.
It matters to me.
Hotel stuff because the Hotel Association asked me to. They're just not in a place to do it right now. I had a separate bill on this that they supported and testified with me on last year. So they're all on board for this, but just not right now. So I took that out. So with that, I would appreciate support for the Vice Chair's favorable report.
Before I recognize Delegate Jalisi, Sarah, I mean, this is that bill from last year that most of the business community supported, right?
So last year it was just straws, and this year it is straws, stirrers, plastic utensils, and plastic condiments. And the Restaurant Association, like I said, I took all of their amendments. Actually,
This doesn't have the shampoo bottles and stuff?
no, that's the one that hotels, you're right, they did all support. But I had to strip that part out of this year's bill because the hotel industry said, yes, we still support this, but we just can't do it right now.
Okay. Jalisi, then David Fraser Dalgo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So just for my clarification, maybe Vice Chair Dana Stein can tell me if I heard it right, that the lodging places cannot give out hand sanitizers and plastic bottles then? Because you said they couldn't give out.
Mr.
Right.
Vice, can I jump
Yeah,
in?
go ahead. Yeah, Del.
It has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
That's not included at all.
So what was the plastic container that they would be giving out if it is not?
Half of the bill had to do with hotels. Last year, it was a completely separate bill, but that half has been stricken entirely. So that's not in this bill at all. Last year's bill, what it said was that larger hotels and then later smaller hotels will transition with shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. But that's not a part of this.
Thank you very much.
Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. After we vote unfavorable or favorable, at any rate, after we vote, can we refer this bill back to ECM for them to reconsider their position?
No.
Oh, man. Tried. Sarah.
Move, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Question.
Yep. Roll call.
This is unfavorable motion, right?
No,
The motion is
favorable.
unfavorable. Yeah.
The motion was favorable?
Motion was
Favorable.
favorable.
Oh, is the
Favorable.
motion favorable? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm sorry. It's favorable motion.
The motion is favorable.
Yep.
Vice Chair Stein,
Yes.
Holmes,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Fraser Hidalgo,
Was that a yes? You're muted.
Yes.
Okay. He
Del
said yes.
Pilato,
Yes, I'm here, but no.
Oh, I'm sorry. All I heard was yes.
It's a no on the favorable motion.
That's-
Del-
No
Right,
on
he's
the
voting no.
favorable.
Right.
Jacobs,
No.
Wyval,
Sorry, no.
Ampray,
Yes.
Siliberti,
Negative. No.
Wells,
Yes.
Love,
Yes.
Ruth,
Yes.
Stewart,
Enthusiastically, yes.
Lehman,
Yes, and thank you for your tenacity, Delegate Love.
Harrison.
I'm confused a little bit, Mr. Chair. If this is their ECM is primary on it and they voted no, does our vote matter?
No. Only it's only symbolic.
It's only what?
Symbolic.
Okay.
Kind of
Um,
a protest, like with my bill earlier.
Hold on, was that a yes or
Same
no?
thing, a protest.
I'll say yes
Okay,
to be a team player with the committee.
there we go.
Teresa,
Yes.
Parrot,
No.
Boyce,
Yes.
All right.
Clark.
Clark is a yes at 2:15 today. 2:16, I might not be, so yes.
Jalisi. Delegate Jalisi,
Yeah.
I think you put a thumb up.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Anderton,
Nah.
Gilchrist.
Yes.
Excuse Chairman.
I'll vote yes.
Okay,
Thank you, my friends.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Sarah.
House Bill 226. That would be, who is that?
That's me.
Okay, go ahead, me.
Thank you. House Bill 226. This is a local bill on complete streets program funding from our traffical and vehicle monitoring systems. It requires Baltimore City to spend revenue collected from our automated enforcement after costs solely on public or transportation infrastructure improvements consistent with the purpose and goals of the city's complete street program. There were no amendments and we passed this bill last year. Move favorable.
Is there a second?
I have a
Second.
question.
Who has a question?
Yeah.
Oh, Neil, go ahead, Delegate Parrott.
Thank you. So it is a local bill. It has been supported locally. You guys have a, I guess the delegation has voted on this and approved it.
Yes.
And then who's not getting the funding that used to get the funding?
It used to go, let's see, let me remember this.
It
Go ahead.
goes to the solely to roadway improvements, including pedestrian safety. That's the case for the statewide, and this bill is in the same spirit. It's just more targeted.
Right.
Thank you.
So it's basically almost the same thing.
It's tweaking. It's just a tweak.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Delegate Otto.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just was concerned about his traffic and vehicle monitoring systems. What are we?
We already have those in place, Delegate. We're not adding any more monitoring. Those are already in place. This is just saying where the money from those systems is going.
So are they listing or putting fines on people, or they're just
Yeah,
monitoring?
these are speed cameras and vehicle height monitoring cameras that we already have and that many jurisdictions around the state already have.
And that's within what was passed previously.
We already have these systems in place.
Okay.
They're already up and they've already been operating for
All
several.
right. Thank you. You answered my question.
Okay.
I enjoyed the Complete Streets program. I think it's a good thing.
Okay. Anyone else want to talk about this before we vote? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of House Bill 226 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, passes unanimous among those. Neil, do you want to vote against this?
Yes.
You're, oh, okay.
Local bill.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Pshaw, who cares about that? Anyway, okay. The bill passes unanimous among those present. House Bill 464.
House Bill 464 is the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission mandatory referral review legislation. We also passed this bill in the same posture last year. There are no amendments. This simply establishes guidelines for what a complete submission looks like when a county submits or somebody submits a submission to the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission for certain activities within Prince George's County and Montgomery County. Move favorable.
Is there a second? And there's a second. Any discussion on this bill before we vote? Seeing none. Oh, Charles, did you want to talk?
Mr. Chairman, what projects are we talking about here? You just referred to.
Yep, these are projects that, these are just projects that have to be approved by the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, which is a bi-county agency that
Yeah.
a lot of recreation, facilities, nature centers, community centers, historic sites, sports venues. They're basically responsible for the physical development of Montgomery County and Prince George's County.
It's the zoning agency for the two counties.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just, she referred to certain projects and I was concerned of what those certain projects are. Is it all projects that have to be approved by the Maryland National Park?
So yes, and it says that this just specifies that there has to be a complete submission, so they're not going to take things sort of ad hoc. The following activities have to be referred to MNCPC. It's amazing that the acronym is actually more difficult to pronounce than the full. So acquiring or selling land, locating, constructing, or authorizing a road, park, public building, or structure, publicly owned or privately owned utility, or any other public way or ground, or changing the use of widening, narrowing, extending, relocating, vacating, or abandoning any of those types of facilities.
Was there any opposition to this bill or?
No.
No.
Well, I'm good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion before we vote on the bill? Delegate Wyville.
Actually, MDOT is expressed opposition to the bill, saying that it would significantly impact projects in those counties.
Oh, sorry. I'm done.
Oh, I guess they had that. I don't remember that in the public hearing in Montgomery County, so that's why I also thought there was no opposition. Okay, well.
It's basically projects that government entities, not private entities.
Right.
Government entities have been doing, kind of what they want. And this is to kind of make sure that everybody's operating on the same playing field.
Right. Move favorable.
Okay. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
No.
Wyville is opposed. Anyone else? No. Who was that?
That was McKay, but he doesn't count.
He doesn't have a vote. So.
Okay. All right. The bill passes. House 85. That you, Brooke?
Okay. On this bill, there are a bunch of back and forth on amendments. The subcommittee voted it out favorable yesterday, but then there was a question about whether one of the amendments that we had did what the subcommittee thought it did. And so I'd like to just hold this to make sure we have the amendments all in order and ask for it to be on the voting list tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of that happening to our committee recently, isn't there? Okay, we'll hold the bill then.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll hold the bill. All right. House Bill 567.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 567 was voted out favorable with amendments from the subcommittee. This is a Montgomery County Reserve Study bill. And the amendment just clarifies that subsequent reserve studies that are done after the initial reserve study, which is every 5 years, are updated reserve studies and not as the full reserve studies that are necessary, but updated. I move the amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and is there a second for the amendments?
Second.
Any discussion on the amendments before we vote? Dr. Wyville. Do you want to speak on the amendments or the bill? You're muted, Will.
No, I'm good. My hand's not up.
Oh, okay.
Otto.
Yes, it is, man.
Delegate Otto.
How does this differ from what we've dealt with? Didn't we pass this bill or?
The bill we passed last year was a Prince George's County only bill. And we're also.
But we've dealt with these reserve studies.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We've been dealing with these reserve studies this session. I mean.
Yes, sir, we have.
You're probably thinking more about the state. You're probably thinking more about the statewide bill.
Yeah.
This one is for Montgomery County only.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
Okay. Any further discussion before we proceed to a vote on the bill? All right. All those in favor, wait a minute, was this on the, we still
Yes,
have.
sir, on the amendment,
Okay, on the amendments, all those in favor signify by saying aye, opposed no. The ayes seem to have it. The
Move
ayes.
the bill is amended, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Charles, do you want to still talk about it? Okay, all right, let's vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone opposed?
No.
Will Wyville is opposed. Anyone else?
This is House Bill 567, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right, House Bill 579, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As amended, House Bill 579 removes Cecil County from existing provisions prohibiting the use, sale, possession, setting, placement, or maintenance of a snare trap. The committee amendment struck the repeal of the prohibition against possession of snare trap in certain counties. Move the amendments.
Okay, is there a second for the amendments? Okay, Delegate Terraza, do you wish to speak on the amendments or the bill itself?
I'm not sure which is the amendments. I'm not sure which is the amendments and which is the.
Well,
Jim, yeah.
What the amendment did was, and if you're looking at the reprint, the amendment struck the brackets around possess. So
Okay.
So it leaves possess in.
Okay, not on the amendment, on the bill. My
Okay.
question is about the bill.
Okay, let's vote the amendments. It's been offered and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the amendments are, the bills before us as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Delegate Terraza.
So I'm trying to understand this bill and the impact of putting the names of these counties in there, because Howard County also has a snare trap ban. I don't know if it's a county law or state law, and I don't understand. I'm a little confused about the impact it would have of leaving Howard County out of the list of places you may not use or sell or possess, set, place, or maintain a snare trap. So I don't know if that's something that
Well, certainly that's something
can be.
we could look at. Howard is not in this list. It sounds like there is a county level law against. And
I don't know if it's a county or
not affect that.
state level.
Well, this is current law that lists the counties.
The list of counties is not, so the county list is not getting added.
Correct.
Right. That's the, as Patrick said, that's current law. Those counties prohibit it.
But wasn't it written in the, I thought it was written in the reverse before. It said except as provided in. I guess I'm just trying to understand what the impact on Howard County will be if they're left out of this piece.
This bill would not affect Howard County in any way.
Are you good, Jen?
Yeah. I'm just wondering, could we hold this till tomorrow so I could just take a look at it? I just want to make sure that we're not having an unintended impact on Howard County now that I understand, because I thought I remembered that and I've had confirmed.
Sure.
I'm just not sure where it is.
Well, hold on. Has this bill been held before?
No.
Okay, we'll hold it till tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you. I just want to make sure.
Can I?
Yeah, Melissa?
Yeah, so, there was if I'm remembering this correctly, there was a point where in the bill, it said that it was changing the rule around being, enforcing having possession of a snare trap. And that was other counties or the jurisdictions. I believe that was taken out of the bill.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you guys talk about it offline and we'll go on to the next bill. Okay, House Bill 755.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
As amended, House Bill 755 authorizes the Chesapeake Bay Trust to make grants from the Healing, Hunting, and Fishing Fund to provide free hunting and recreational fishing licenses to Gold Star recipients, certain veterans or members of the armed forces, and wheelchair-bound permanently disabled individuals. Mr. Chairman, basically we struck the bill. The amendments are the bill. Let me move
Okay.
the amendments.
Is there a
Second.
second?
And
Okay.
Mr. Subcommittee Chair, Mr. Chairman, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
After the subcommittee met, I was doing the amendments, and what the amendments do is they authorize for certain veterans and armed forces members and the like, free recreational fishing licenses and free hunting licenses from this fund with the hunting stamps, the corresponding hunting stamps, but we left out the trout stamp. I would suggest informally if we could include the trout stamp in the amendment, might be a good idea.
Okay.
So
So
moved.
informally take that, include that in the amendment. On
Second.
the any discussion on the amendments? Okay, we'll vote on the amendments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Any opposed? Okay, the bill is before us as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bill as amended? We'll proceed to a vote then. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill passes. House Bill 1023.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1023 has a wonderful sponsor. This bill came out of the subcommittee with amendment. And what the bill does, ladies and gentlemen, is that the bill puts into law virtual meetings for common ownership communities. I'm sure all of you recognize that we're in this COVID crisis, and a lot of the common ownership communities are having a very difficult time understanding what the rules are. And the bill clarifies for them what the rules are for virtual meetings for the common ownership communities. Amendment number 1 establishes the authority to conduct electronic meetings under the bill, notwithstanding language contained in the bylaws of the common ownership community, meaning that the bylaws in existing communities, which in most cases are very, very old, would not prevent common ownership communities from having virtual meetings. Amendment number 2 is an amendment that pushes up the effective date from October to June. And the reason why I wanted to put that in there is because common ownership communities are having meetings now, and they are looking for direction from us now. So those are the 2 amendments, Mr. Chair. I move the amendments.
Second.
And there's a second. Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, we'll vote on, Delegate Jalisi, do you want to speak on the amendments or the bill?
Mr. Chair, just the bill after the amendments.
Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye, opposed no. The ayes seem to have it.
Move the bill as amended, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Delegate Jalisi.
So my question is, for my understanding, so does this or should this change the percentage of people who need to be in the meeting? Because in the past I think we were at 60%. And that was because a lot of people could not make it to the meetings in person. But now, since we are allowing Zoom meetings, and I think they will be there for all times to come, shouldn't we require more participation before any, especially when bylaws changes are made? I just think it's a good idea.
This bill does not discuss changing any of those requirements in terms of quorum or meeting requirements. This bill specifically gives them the opportunity to vote and to hold meetings. This bill is not relevant to that topic.
But then does it have a sunset? Like when COVID emergency is over, would this go away or is it?
No, sir, it will not. It will remain in effect.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries unanimous among those present. House Bill 1114.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, go ahead, Brooke.
I know Delegate Healy isn't here, and I believe this was in her subcommittee. I had a couple questions on it, so would you mind if we held this bill?
No, not at all. We'll hold it. Okay. 1347, sponsor problem.
Yes, sir, it certainly does. This is the second one I've discussed today would sponsor problems. This bill 1347 is a bill well, I'm just going to read the specific portions of the bill that take effect. In the bill, the language says, it does not prohibit a restriction on prescription regarding land use may not impose or act to impose an unreasonable limitation on the location and use of portable basketball apparatus, provided that the property owner owns or has the right to exclusive use of the area in which the placement and use of the portable basketball apparatus occurs. Move the bill unamended, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there a second? Okay,
Second.
great. Any discussion on this bill before we vote? All right, seeing.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, yes, Delegate Parrott.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sure. On this bill, I think it's important that we recognize this is just a policy decision that we're talking about. But one question I had is, are there any other restrictions specific on HOAs like this one? I was looking through the law and didn't notice any.
You mean where we require HOAs to do something they don't want to do?
I'm not sure. I'm what you're referring to, Delegate Perry. I mean, there are a lot of restrictions on common ownership communities. Yes, that's why I had to hesitate in answering the question. I'm not quite sure where you're going with it. Are there restrictions that we impose upon common ownership communities? Yes.
I mean, for example, and to give you an idea of how long I've been around here, on my first stint on the Environmental Matters Committee, I believe we had the bill that made it impossible for HOAs to ban solar unless ban solar, for example, and we passed that bill. But there are lots of other instances.
And another example I will give to you, Mr. Chair, while you're speaking.
Sure.
That did the same thing that this does in terms of clotheslines. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So and that's why I paused in answering your question, Delegate Parrott, because there are, and I'm speaking fast because I'm on the Senate thing here too. I got 3 bills on the Senate. I got to testify. So we have a lot of bills that we do in fact impose restrictions on to common ownership communities. Yes, we do, Delegate Parrott.
Thank you. Since the subcommittee meeting, I've actually talked to several different people, HOA presidents and others. And even though I voted no in subcommittee, I'm going to vote yes today.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it, Dr. No.
Sarah. Delegate Love, sorry, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just going to say, I wanted to thank you for bringing this bill because I found that hearing very informative. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know about before. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ordinarily we try to keep you in the dark, so I'm sorry that we failed. Okay.
And usually it works.
Usually it works, right? Okay, we will vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the bill passes unanimous among those present. So,
And Mr. Chair, if I drop off, it's not because I'm ignoring you, but I'm on the Senate Zoom over here too.
okay, I was just going to say, do we have any announcements before we adjourn?
Housing and real property is supposed to meet at 3 o'clock, but again, that depends on how fast I can get off of the Senate Zoom.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Take your time.
And who else? Oh, Dave.
Motor vehicles meeting tomorrow at 2.
Okay, great.
And
Mr. Chairman.
Well, yeah, who else? Jim, go ahead.
The Ag Subcommittee, we are looking for a time to meet tomorrow, so stay tuned.
Okay, Delegate Learman.
thank you, Mr. Chair. The Land Use and Ethics Subcommittee will meet tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Okay, anybody else? Does anybody else have, who's not a chair, have an announcement for the good of the order? Seeing none, you, by the way, again, Regina, good job on the floor today.
Yes, great job.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
You rocked it.
we're adjourned.
Yes.